right, what do you got in the news over there?
Also in the news, so remember that Philly DA? I think we talked about him last week, who said that he was going to hunt you down, talking about ICE agents.
I can't remember if we talked about him or not. I saw it, but I can't ever remember.
Okay, here we go. We have the video.
Is this Larry Krasner?
This is Larry Krasner.
Oh, Krasner.
Yeah.
All right, same guy I was thinking.
A Democrat district attorney. Oh, looky, backed by none other than George Soros in Philadelphia. Last week in Penn Square, he denounced ICE agents and called them a bunch of wannabe Nazis. We have the video.
This is a small bunch of wannabe Nazis. That's what they are.
That's what they are.
In a country of 350 million, we outnumber them. If we have to hunt you down the way they hunted down Nazis for decades, we will find your identities. We will find you. We will achieve justice. And
that's going to be the worst movie ever because they're not Nazis. I don't know who these people are. I'm now I'm kind of disappointed, but also surprised at how dumb adults are.
Oh,
nobody thinks they're Nazis. There's nobody. First off, your comparison to law enforcement doing a job that the American people voted for and Congress ratified to Nazis is wildly insulting to any Jew with any sort of historical connection to the Holocaust at all.
You mean like Tim Waltz saying that like immigrants hiding in the attic or like Anne Frank?
Yes. Now, the Jews are leftists mainly, but they're not really leftists. They're scared and they've been persecuted so many times that they want to get along. And they realize, especially if they're trying to work in Hollywood or in California or in show business or in politics, they have to just shut up all the time. So they're in a weird position. So Jews who are very traditionally they're traditional people. They family oriented, education, community, church, and everything like that have to shut up because they're scared. Because if they started speaking up, then they'd be tossed out too. And also, they vote Democrat. So the Democrats are the ones who make all the Hitler-Nazi associations, and Jews should be speaking out.
Well, to his credit, Josh Shapiro, who is a Jew, he was so
Spielberg
Jewish.
should be saying,
100%.
Spielberg should be saying, I made a movie called Schindler's List. Fuck this guy.
Right, exactly.
But he can't because he's scared of being thrown out of the club. So now you Jews have to just eat shit, which is sad. But it's sad that you don't have a backbone.
Well, Josh Shapiro, apparently he was too Jewish for Kamala Harris. Remember when she was running for president? He is the Democratic governor of Pennsylvania and a practicing Jew. And he said that he told Fox News that such remarks are, quote, unacceptable, abhorrent, and it is wrong, period, hard stop, end of sentence. Honestly, not to give the Democrats like too much free advice that I think is good, that should be the guy that they pick to run in 2028.
Yes.
Stay away from the AOCs, go with like a more kind of level-headed Democrat that's willing to speak up against this kind of crap.
It's also weird that these people, he is not a black leader and he is not the leader of like a Latino movement. He's just the DA of a major American city.
But that's an important job.
I'm not saying it's not an important.
Yeah.
Did I say it wasn't an important job?
You were saying he's just, though. Like, I don't get the...
No, he's a... Oh, did I say the word just?
You said he's just the DA.
Well, no, what I mean is now we got to check the tapes. What I mean is he's not Black Lives Matter leader, and he's not running a Latino group. He is a DA of a major city. Check the tape, Dawson. Now I got to find out. But I'm saying I don't mean it's not a job. I mean, he only does this. He's in charge of law in a major city.
I got it.
And he's declared war on law enforcement in his city.
I got it now.
Which is now a crazy world to be in. Because he is what they call the top cop. They call the DA the top cop. But he's not for law enforcement.
Yep.
And he's not only not for law enforcement, he's trying to get these people killed by calling them Nazis.
And going after them. We will hunt you down. It's crazy. Now,
it's insane that he's in charge of the law in that region.
Now, a House Intelligence Committee member, Greg Stube, a Republican of Florida, called him out and recommended that Attorney General Pam Bondi take a closer look at this ever-escalating remarks on the issue. He said the DOJ should absolutely arrest and convict this guy. Apparently, he cited a federal code categorizing threatening a federal officer as a felony that's punishable by up to 10 years in prison. So it would be like America's top cop going after Philadelphia's top cop. I mean, he's not going to go to jail. Let alone for 10 years,
it never. He'll be a martyr like Don Lemon, but it never works. I don't. Also, it's kind of a weird thing. Like, why did you get into this business if that's where you're at?
If you don't want to enforce the law.
Yes, but we're now living in a time where he's talking about hunting down people who enforce the law, but he's the head top cop of Philadelphia, which is crazy times. But it's all crazy, and they all have derangement.
Yes.
Okay, so here's what I'm saying. You must have Trump derangement syndrome in order to say such things. And Shapiro doesn't have Trump derangement syndrome. He doesn't like Trump, and he disagrees with Trump, but he doesn't have a syndrome that makes you scream crazy things into a microphone.
I call it Trump Tourette's.
Yes, it is. And you could be... These are punishable crimes in certain cases. You're putting yourself in harm's way, potentially, and you're saying insane things to your constituency. All right.
So here in California, I've been paying attention to the gubernatorial race, and something that I feel like is such a dichotomy is Democratic candidates. I think like one of the mayor of Stockton or somebody's running, and they're like, my goal is to, reduce prosecutions and also increase safety. And I'm like, how does this work?
Right.
Like, how does this work?
Through
remember
community
when you made
policing.
felonies, misdemeanors, and misdemeanors nothing in the state?
Right.
That didn't really help. Like, if you just ignore that something bad is happening, doesn't mean that the bad thing ain't happening. And that's like what this guy's doing.
Yeah, he's horrible. God, it's so scary. The whole Soros thing. One day, a crazy anarchist gets billions of dollars and comes into town and gets everyone elected who agrees with them, and then they ruin the town. It's a weird process. It feels like kind of un-American. But anyway, so then Krasner's got to say insane things. And also, he's an idiot, but I mean, you have the mayor of Seattle like saying the same kind of stuff. I mean,
Are you going to investigate any daycare fraud?
Nope,
not at all.
Not going to do that.
What was her name?
Oh, God, I can think of it.
Yeah, I remember.
These people are central casting. All right, what else you got?
All right, so speaking of the California gubernatorial race, a GOP gubernatorial candidate, friend of the pod, Steve Hilton, is talking about this new insane tax that would charge California drivers per mile. Have you heard about this?
Yes.
Passed last week. Apparently, Steve Hilton talks about, quote, if Democrats get their way, the journey and every single journey made by anyone in California will be tracked. And we're going to have to pay a charge for every mile that we drive. It's kind of outrageous on top of the fact that, like, we pay the highest taxes per gallon of gas in the state. California's proposed mileage tax, also called a road charge, would replace the gas tax with a per mile fee. The controversial Assembly Bill 1421 passed by, wait for it, 43 to 18 last Thursday, despite pushback from critics suspicious of other pinches on their wallets. The bill does not enact the tax, but will research rates and collection methods by the California Transportation Commission and the State Transportation Agency. And then the report on those conclusions is due by January of next year.
All right. So they pushed everyone into electric cars, and then they got their way. They got a lot of people in California driving electric cars, and then they weren't able to gouge them with gas tax. So now they're having a revenue issue. There's a fundamental thing that I think is national, but it's also a California problem, and we're sort of the tip of the spear. You must figure out a way to reduce spending or figure out a way to bring in more tax dollars.
Yeah.
They never think about ways to reduce spending. They always think about ways to bring in more tax dollars. And they're obsessed with, mansion tax and
the
billionaire tax and the mileage tax. And they sit around all day figuring out ways to get more money out of people who are already leaving California. They also want to do a tax that if you leave, you still have to pay for the next 10 years and stuff like that. I don't understand why there isn't any thoughts about reducing the burden. I mean, if you save $1, it's the same as making $1. There's so many ways to reduce your budget, which they never will do. They just keep hiring people, and they have a problem.
The only budgets they like to reduce are for clearing out debris and funding fire departments.
Well, not debris, but managing the forest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, and keeping the fuel. Yes, okay, they don't want to do that. So they have a problem. The problem is their constituency is basically illegals who get free shit, and then teachers' unions and people who work at the airport and people who are on the dole. Essentially, their constituency are people they pay. They're not entrepreneurs who go about their business and job creators. They're teachers' unions and illegals who are getting welfare and food stamps and whatever, Medicaid, everything. So your entire constituency, your voting block is made up of people who either don't pay taxes or do pay some taxes and then use you for a piggy bank and a paycheck. So now you have a choice. You can tell those people, we got to cut way back on all the stuff you've been getting for free from us, which means trouble for you because they may not vote for you. Or you can go find a rich guy and tell him to pay his fair share, even though he's already paying way more than his fair share, and we can figure out new things to tax.
But then what happens when, and this could happen in New York City with Mamdani, right? It could happen here in California if, heaven forbid, we don't get a decent Republican as governor next time around, is then all the billionaires leave.
Right.
The middle class people like myself, the small business owners who can't afford an extra $1,000 per year, or it's a pinch, right? Then this starts to happen and people continue to flee, and then your deficit continues and continues, and then you only have people that are on the payroll or mooching off the system.
Yes.
Then the state is worse off than it is. Like, I'm just curious about the general timeline of, like, how long does it take for that to come into effect before people wake up?
Well, I mean, we're already there in that people are leaving.
But I mean, the wake up. Where's the wake up point? Where's the
wake up is a tough point for progressive people because they're not in that business. I've not had one person. Okay, I yelled about COVID for 5 years. I got yelled at by everybody, and I've not had one human being come up to me and go, "Sorry, I was wrong. You were right."
Really? I'm
not one.
Sorry.
I'm sorry too, but they're not in the business of apologizing. Who has apologized about COVID? Oh, guess what? It came from the lab. Oh, I guess we'll be getting an apology for that, or masks don't work, or ivermectin, or the jab, or whatever it is. They are not in the business of admitting they're wrong. So you're asking them to do something, which is admit they're wrong. Now, what they might do is they might quietly go into the voting booth and
That's all I want them to do. I'm saying, when's that wake up point?
Yes, they might. That may be coming soon where they go, I don't want that fucking cow, Katie Porter, destroying this fucking nation.
God,
like, she is dumb and angry and
She's
stupid.
a mean girl.
And I don't want any more incompetent DI Karen Bass hires or something. We need to get some competent dudes up in here and get this shit fixed.
Yep.
And that quietly may happen.
Who are the 18 brave souls in the California Assembly that voted against this?
Jesus Christ. That's all they do is sit around and think about ways to... And also, by the way, it's win-win. It's more money and more control. They're going to know where you go.
This also, the writing was on the wall here. I mean, as this article notes, the proposed tax is coming as the state faces nearly $3 billion budget deficit, and lawmakers are looking to make up lost revenue from, wait for it, drivers switching to electric and hybrid vehicles.
That you made us do.
Yeah. Which they commanded that we do.
Yes.
And they incentivized it.
Yep.
It's like, guys, come on.
Well, you can kind of set your watch on it if you really think about it. Jesus Christ, $14 million. Is her house $14 million, Billie Eilish?
That's nice.
Yeah. That's $2,000 a square foot. That is a lot.
How many square feet? So it's like 7,000 square feet?
That's right.
Wow. That was real fast math for this homeschooler who's horrible at math.
That was good. Yeah.
All right, next story. You were just at the Trump Kennedy Center.
Yes, I was.
Turns out it's going to be shut down and rebranded for a spectacular result. Do we have video of the president talking about this? He says the president made the recommendation to completely close the center for 2 years instead of keeping it partially open to undergo renovations after a one-year review of the arts building conducted by the contractors and musical art institutions, yada, yada. He said if they don't close it, the quality of the construction will not be nearly as good. And he noted that the decision to close the center for 2 years is totally subject to the board approval. NPR is having a heyday with this. I was listening to them this morning. They're super upset over there at Up First. They were saying that they actually think that this is a sign that maybe the Kennedy Center will not reopen because of the public that have been canceling their memberships and not attending. And they're saying, the upheaval and him getting rid of the DEI people on the board, that he's just going to try to Trumpify it or it's never going to reopen and the arts in D.C. are dead.
I rocked that place so hard the foundation came apart, bro. So they gotta do a serious pour over there. It's got to be fixed. If I'm the last comedian to play that place, that'll be a feather in my cap.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, first off, it's beautiful. It's a great facility. It was, it's right. DC's small. Everything's real nearby. I had a good time over there. Harmeet Dillon came by.
I love her.
Love her. Said hi. Brought some of her DOJ friends with her.
So if we're ever in trouble, you got some numbers for me?
I think I could make a phone call.
Thanks.
Let's see. NPR has the Trump Kennedy Center confused with the Cinerama Dome, which will never open up again. Closed in 2020. Oh, Cinerama Dome is closed up in 2020? I thought that's where the ArcLight was now. No, closed.
Sad.
Well,
no, but they were legitimately like, "Oh, will it never reopen?"
Cinerama Dome was part of the ArcLight or part of the complex or something over there. They used to have it where you saw the big movies were in the Cinerama Dome.
No, I remember when it closed down and everybody was really sad about it.
Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, official announcement in April. But why will it never open again?
Too expensive. And it just keeps getting pushed back year by year by year.
Oh. Was the Cinerama Dome built 71 or something?
It's a National Historic Registered spot.
Look it up.
It looks like 60s vibes.
Late 60s.
Yeah.
Early. They'd show Earthquake at the Cinerama Dome and Towering Inferno, and those type of movies. The Cinerama Dome, I'll be curious. Okay, so let me figure this one out. And tell me, Andrew, if this is part of it. 63 is when they started, I guess. Oh. Or it was finished in 63, earlier than I thought. Okay. We had a big earthquake here in, I think, 74, but maybe it was 72. I can't remember.
We just came up on the anniversary of the Northridge earthquake.
Oh, we did?
I think it's 35 years. Since Northridge.
That was 94.
It was? So it was 30. When was Northridge? I could have sworn it was 35 years.
No, it was 94. I was there. It was early, February, March.
Okay, 32 years. I'm like, how?
It opened in 63, by the way. All right.
So I was right?
No. Well, you're right that it's from the 60s. That's true. The earthquake's from 94.
Okay.
All right. So here's the thing. The Cinerama Dome is it's a Mad, Mad, Mad World was playing there. Okay. It's a big concrete pour, the roof is, shotcrete or gunite or whatever. It's a big concrete dome. It's a big thing, whatever. That was before the 72 earthquake. They put big regulations in place after every earthquake.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This thing is not up to code, is what I'm saying. Now, I'm sure it's been retrofitted over the years, but this would be a tough building to bring up to a modern earthquake code in California.
Got it.
And so I may be guessing
That's why
because I used to do earthquake rehab work, that it's not just we're staying closed and never reopening because someone might make it into a nightclub or a restaurant or something like that. I am guessing that part of the problem is if you said, I would like to buy the Cinerama Dome and open it up and make it a skating rink, someone would go,
fun.
You must meet these new
And they just
earthquake
can't.
regulations, and they might have to take the dome off to do that. So I don't know. Here's the question now, Andrew. The Cinerama Dome, would they ever do a big retrofit on that place? And I'm sure they did. And if so, is that place up to code like right now? And if so, it's right in the middle of Sunset on Hollywood.
Wow.
Like you'd think somebody would buy it and turn it into the world's coolest restaurant or something like that. So it leads me to believe that maybe there's something going on. Andrew can look into that.
They couldn't get the permits.
And they need a deputy inspector, and you can do another. Let's see. The iconic Cinerama Dome in Los Angeles, which closed March 2020, has not undergone a major finalized structural retrofit or remodeling since its 1963 construction, though it has been maintained and secured by the and faces ongoing delays for its planned reopening, past upgrades, renovation plans. There have been long-standing plans for renovation to reopen the venue, as discussed, focusing on restoring the interior, improving comfort, blah, blah, blah. I would guess if that place has not been touched since 1963,
there's a lot to do.
There's going to be a lot of retrofitting to do, and it's going to cost a lot of money, and that's part of I think that's
cool,
part
though.
of what's holding this up and keeping it closed.
When
That's
it
where I'm going.
reopens, we should do a live show from there.
I was walking when we were talking about me and Jimmy going and seeing Sex in the City 2, I think, and getting caught by TMZ and whatever. We were walking out of the Cinerama Dome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Let's do another. Do you have another story?
I do. Oh, well, no, I don't.
Oh, well,
Do you
then
want
what
me
was
to
the
make
last
one up?
story we were talking
The
about?
last story we were talking about was the Kennedy Center. Yep. It's closing on July 4th, by the way, so you have some time. They did a premiere for Melania there, and the First Lady and the President showed up to watch it. And have you seen the Melania documentary?
No.
I got invited to like a private screening last week, and I didn't get to go see it, but I've heard it's actually pretty good. All over LA, I've been seeing all the billboards and at the bus stops for it, and it's like Melania, and then people are spray painting "is in the Epstein files" over it.
I saw the one where they put the Hitler mustache on her.
Oh, that's sad. I haven't seen that. Everyone I see says it's in the Epstein files, like from West Hollywood, Beverly Hills, the Valley, everywhere.
I saw the one where she was taking a dump on the American flag.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my
Wow.
Lord.
Would Hitler be insulted, or would he be warm-hearted knowing about his legacy, that we're essentially calling the first wife, we're calling her Hitler, that we're calling Ice Hitler, like literally. Now look, it's like I'm Adam Carolla. If I was dead for 100 years and every douchebag who came down the pike was being called Adam Carolla, I'd probably go, no, he's just a douchebag. He's not that funny. Why are you calling him me?
He's not as funny or as successful as I
Yeah,
was.
true. He's racist, but that's not. I was a lot more than that. Like, would Hitler be insulted with all the comparisons, or would he be delighted that we're using his name every 15 seconds
I actually
in this
think
country?
he would be delighted, and
Yeah.
somebody needs to tell this to the modern day left.
Yes,
that
you're
he would-
delighting Hitler.
He's so excited. He's burning in hell and is like, this is amazing.
I mean, everybody has a very finite amount of time on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Your legacy, whether you're Hitler or Abe Lincoln, is really all you got.
Yep.
And that makes you eternal. And we are speaking his name every single day, all day.
More so than Abe Lincoln's is spoken.
Oh, more than Jesus Christ. I mean, if you watch
Especially
CNN.
at the Grammys.
Yeah, at the Grammys. We got one guy talking about Jesus. We got 1,000 people talking about Hitler. So Hitler, you've got a much better publicist than JC.
You know, speaking of Abraham Lincoln, that was one of the symphonies. There was supposed to be a symphony about Abraham Lincoln. Mm-hmm. And
a symphony, really?
Like a orchestral director. And like he had a whole score of music that he wrote about Abraham Lincoln. Mm-hmm. He pulled out of the Kennedy Center because it's now Trump Kennedy. And he doesn't want to work with Donald Trump. Which I'm just like, guys, if your art is so important and so beautiful and espousing good beliefs that are better for society and virtuous and all these things that you say it is, wouldn't you want to appeal to like any audience you possibly can?
Well, you know,
or could. Sorry if it was bad grammar.
No,
there, but, you know,
the venue is just a box with speakers and a microphone. Your audience is your audience, you know, and that's who comes out and sees you, you know. So there are comedy clubs or theaters, you know, you go, well, who's a very progressive comedian? You go, Patton Oswalt. Okay, he's very progressive. Okay. Okay. Well, he's played the Lowe's Theater or let's see, what's in Boston? The
Wilbur.
The Wilbur. Okay, Patton Oswalt played the Wilbur more than once. Adam Carolla's played the Wilbur more than once. When
the Wilbur is not political.
The Wilbur isn't. The Wilbur's a box that's 120 years old.
Yep.
Patton Oswalt shows up, and people who think like him show up to the audience. Adam Carolla shows up, and people who think like Adam Carolla show up to the audience. But the other place is just mortars and bricks and wires.
But I guess I'm the weirdo that, and I think you are too, outside of showing up at a comedy club, you will go on CNN or Piers Morgan or I think a progressive podcast like I do because you want to potentially reach other people that might disagree with you.
I don't even.
Whereas I'm saying,
I don't even do that. I just, people invite me to come on something, and I usually say if my schedule will permit, I will do that.
But you have leftists that are like, well, hell no, I'll never go on Fox News, right? This is something that politicians or celebrities say or do all the time. Or I'll never work with Angel Studios. Or I'll never go on Adam Carolla.
They're mostly scared because they don't want to get whooped. I mean, in some sort of argument with Jesse Waters. I mean, they're mostly. Mark Ruffalo doesn't want to go on that. He says it's kind of like saying, like you're in junior high and you go, Brad Higgins wants to fight, and you go, I'd love to kick that guy's ass, but I'm not going to stoop to his level. But meanwhile, you're just chicken shit and you're scared he's going to beat your ass, and that's why the left doesn't come out to the right side.
Yeah,
the reason. As Bill Maher says all the time, Kamala Harris, Obama's, or whatever, they never go on Bill Maher's show. All the people on the right go on Bill Maher's show because they show up with a belief and some stats, and they'll hold up their end, and Bill will hold up his end too. But Kamala Harris is never going to go. I mean, why? Let's just do a thought experiment.
Oh, fun.
Possibly. But I really want everyone to think about this. I brought it up before, but I'm just gonna lay it out. During COVID, Fauci wanted people to get vaccinated. Okay, so that's our base. Our base is he wants people to get vaccinated, and he's going on a campaign where he's going to tell everyone to please get vaccinated. Then we're getting a little more granular. He's going to say, and you know who's not getting vaccinated? It's the Trump voting Hannity watchers who are the ones who are resisting getting vaccinated. Okay. And Hannity has a much larger audience than CNBC or CNN.
Absolutely. Combined.
Okay. So let's just do it this way. Forget about vaccines. Let's just say I had a business where I sold taco shells, and I got a company that does pre-made taco shells. And you go, what do you want to do, Adam? And I go, I want to get the word out about my taco shells. Okay. All right. Well, Hannity does, 3 million viewers a night, and CNN does 285. And I go, I'm not going to do Hannity. Well, wait a minute. You want everyone to eat your taco shells. Right. And who's not buying your taco shells? The people who watch Hannity. Oh, well, good news. And by the way, your taco shells are the best? Yeah. And they never caused harm to anybody? No. And they're safe and effective taco shells? Yes, they are. Well, good, because Hannity will have you on to talk about your taco shells. I'm not going on that show. Now, what's going on, Fauci? Well, Fauci's scared. And he's going to get pushback. And he's not going to be able to defend himself because he's missing a lot of facts and he's lying a lot. And so he doesn't go on there. So this thing where they go, oh, Fauci's not going to. Why wouldn't Fauci, who, by the way, is not a politician, he just wants people to get vaccinated. Why not go find the biggest audience if you're selling vaccines? And those are the people who aren't taking your vaccine specifically.
His response was, well, they're anti-science. They're going to ask me gotcha questions. That was his excuse at the time, right?
They always do the gotcha questions or set up or not going to get a fair shake. Here's the whole thing. What do you mean? You have all the information and you are science.
You're supposed to be the expert.
Just go fucking settle Hannity's hash. Just go straighten him out. If somebody said to me like, okay, find a subject, or find something I feel passionate about or a subject I know well, like I go, all right, I know home improvement well. Okay. Oh, why don't you go on Ty Pennington's home improvement podcast? Because I don't want him to give me any gotcha questions. Like, I mean, I know everything. What are these gotcha questions? Well, he's going to be combative. He can be combative all he wants. I know more about the subject than he knows. Yeah, but what if he doesn't give you a fair shake? I don't know what that means. I can talk about this subject because I'm an expert in the subject unless I have something to hide, unless I've been lying.
Yeah.
And that's where Fauci comes in.
Yeah.
And Kamala Harris can't talk, and she's going to have problems with real questions. I mean, Bill Maher, the fact that neither one of the Obamas, I mean, Michelle Obama pops up on every fakakta podcast that's ever come down the pike.
Oh, like Call Her Daddy?
Oh, no.
A former First Lady of the United States was on the Call Her Daddy podcast.
I'm saying fakakta. I'm talking deep fakakta. I'm talking shit you never heard of. You've heard of Call Her. Like, I get what you're saying, but at least you've heard of that. This is shit you've never heard of.
Yeah.
She'll go on. And I mean it. I see clips where I've been podcasting for 17 years. I see these clips. I have no idea who these people are. I don't know what this is. But forget about Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Forget about Bill Maher. So the question is, why? I mean, you want the audience. We can agree that these platforms have the biggest audience.
You don't want the audience.
You're a righteous truth teller.
They want the ass kissing.
Right. No, you're lying. You're going to have a lot of trouble. You would have a lot of trouble with basic questions that Bill Maher would ask. So you're a coward. And it's weird, but you want publicity, but you'll never go take a challenge. So that's why these people don't go any of these places. And it's cowardly, and people should just call it what it is. They're fucking scared. Fauci's scared, and Fauci's lying. And he's going to get a softball, whatever, with Morning Joe, and he's not going to get it with Bill Maher.
Yep.
Now, Bill Maher isn't going to tear him a new asshole, and he's not going to be disrespectful, but he is going to have questions.
And follow-up questions. Which used to be called journalism, but I guess like the mainstream media forgot that.
Right.
Was their job.
And Gavin Newsom will never come back on this podcast because he got follow-up questions. So, yes, it's fine. But first off, stop pretending like these guys are virtuous and they're just going to tell the truth. Fauci's a coward and he's a pussy and he's a liar, and he didn't want to go to places that would ask him real questions.
But what about a leftist or like orchestra symphony dude being like, oh, I'm not going to bring my art to the Trump Kennedy Center because it is now dubbed the Trump Kennedy Center?
They're just virtue signaling. And
but
also,
it's all in the same vein.
I know, but the left, it's one thing not to do Hannity. You don't get minus points for that if you're Fauci. If you don't do Trump Kennedy Center, then you do get points for that. So it's all about the signal. They live in a world of sort of they live in a world of sort of bumper stickers and slogans and memes
And Instagram
and
stories
animation, right?
Yeah.
So everything is symbolic to them. And when you kind of go to them, hey, what's going on? What's going on with the homeless? Where are the permits? What's going on with this fire? They go, oh, I'm not going to rest until everybody lives with dignity. You know what I mean? So they live in a meme world of stuff that doesn't really exist, and so they're much more involved and worried about that world than they are living in a real world where you play an actual concert.
Yeah. I mean, I like to talk to the other side, but maybe I'm a weirdo.
Well, I don't have any. I'll go on any show because I feel good about my points that I'm talking about. I don't feel. I feel like Fauci knew he was lying.
Yeah.
About
and he didn't want to be asked questions.
Gain of function.
Yeah.
I mean, just leak the origins of COVID. Just the origins of COVID. They were all lying about the origins of COVID. You assholes backed them up and applauded them. I asked, didn't make sense to me. But he knows.
I feel
here's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's what's in the trunk. What's in the trunk? Cop pulls you over. What's in the trunk? Nothing. All right, will you pop the trunk? No. What's in the trunk? Just road flares and a jack and a space saver spare. All right, sir, we'll just pop the trunk. No.
Yeah.
We'll just pop it and then there'll be nothing in it. What's in the trunk? Nothing. Just pop it. I'm going to call my attorney. Okay.
I plead the fifth.
Something's in the trunk. Trunk. That's all.
But I think that what you're speaking to is, yes, you're confident in your beliefs, but I think that you're also confident enough, or we are confident enough in our beliefs that I'm open to be questioned and questioning myself, so then I can further investigate and figure out why I believe what I believe.
Yeah.
And I find that friends of ours like Larry Elder, Dave Rubin, that's when they started to make the shift from the left to the right, or the left to the center, or the left to sanity, was when they allowed themselves to question things. And I think that that's an important part of like all of humanity, is like not viewing it as they're going to ask me a gotcha or I'm going to lose the debate, but being willing to address, maybe I am wrong here and I'm willing to figure out why.
Well, it's like I went on Bill Maher's and I said, look, I'm not against the vaccine. I had a perfect example. I had kids that were 14. I had parents that were 90. I said, let the parents get the vaccine. They're elderly. Who cares? And then I don't want the 14-year-olds getting it. And then I don't really want it because I'm fine.
Yeah. You had no comorbidities or anything else.
All right. Does that seem pretty in the middle? And can we agree on this? And why does that feel like a gotcha thing or what? And then they go, well, Adam, you're going to have to defend that. Like, okay, I'll defend it. I'll be real good at defending that.
Yep.
All right. Going to Florida.
Oh, fun.
Oh, man, I get to get on an airplane for a change. That'll be nice. Thursday, Orlando Funny Bone. We're doing a live pod there with Michael Yo, and Rudy will be there as well. And then Naples, off the hook, man. Good food over there. Early shows are sold out Friday and Saturday, but there's still some tickets left for the later shows, everybody. And you just go to adamcarolla.com for all the live stuff. Alicia Krause, op-ed for the Washington Examiner. Always a good read, so check her out with that. And until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Alicia Krause saying mahalo. All right, should we do some news, Mayhem?
Yeah, we should get right into it. Kind of dark and sad here. Rob Reiner's troubled son has been charged with fatally stabbing the famed director and his wife Michelle at their Los Angeles homes, authorities say on Monday.
Oh, so crazy.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah, real dark. Spinal Tap, one of the best movies ever made.
I agree with that. And Princess Bride and all
Bride,
the yeah. Stand by
an outspoken liberal, a man after his politics, and real sad to see some family relationship go sour. His son was in and out of rehab many times since the age of 15, and doing at least 17 stints in treatment. Spent nights on the street, and I don't know, had a troubled life, but was a television director and by all accounts, a successful man on his own, apart from his father.
I forgot The Sure Thing, which is a good movie that people kind of forget about. But It's a funny movie. It's very Rob Reiner-y. It's a little smaller than, The Princess Bride and Harry Met Sally and that kind of stuff. But the sure thing was it's John Cusack when he was normal and likable and young. And it was good.
This guy was the best director. Yeah, a really great director with, such eye for detail and funny little timing. And, he gave a lot to the culture. He really did.
Well, first off, he was married to Penny Marshall. Did you know that?
I did.
And she died fairly youngishly, not too long ago. But I went to school with their daughter, Tracy, who they lived in my mom's house was in North Hollywood, and my grandparents' house was in a marginally better place in North Hollywood, probably about a mile, maybe a mile and a quarter apart. But when you walked there, you would go by Rob and Penny Marshall's house, the Reiner's house. They had a big place on the corner in the San Fernando Valley, like kind of not Studio City, kind of North Hollywood, what would be Valley Village now.
I got it.
And their daughter, Tracy, he must have a daughter, Tracy, who's 61 years of age, because she was in my grade at so she went to Colfax Elementary. And then later on, she became friends. I hadn't seen her in a million years. I went to Moon Zappa's house. And she was friends with, I guess, Moon Zappa. Yeah, and she was in the movie, too. What the hell's the movie? A League of Their Own. That's right. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, it's sad. Someone has to die before you start getting into all their work, and you kind of go, oh, yeah. Yeah, he was, obviously, I guess we saw him initially in All in the Family, and it just kept going. But he was a guy who was like militantly against Trump, but a lovely guy to sit and have a chat with.
It's funny because all this you see is like from the before times. Mm-hmm. Before we got very hyper politicized, where you didn't care, the politics of the guy who made the movie, and everyone can universally agree that most of these films, that we love them. They're beloved to the culture. You don't have to dig in to 80 years of tweets,
right,
to determine whether you like this piece of art.
I don't know what the story was. I heard there was an argument with the son at Conan O'Brien's Christmas
that's the
party.
Scuttlebutt is that TMZ says that, Conan O'Brien's party, they had a loud argument that other people overheard, and then that carried over until the daughter found them at 3:30 in the morning.
Oh, 3:30 in the morning or 3:30 in the afternoon?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I think the afternoon.
Yes, sorry.
God, first off, life is a little unpredictable, I would say. Also, it's got to be weird to know that you're, like people go, okay, so everyone dies, right? All right, so you have a heart attack, or you're in your hospital bed, or you're sitting there at an intersection and a drunk driver just runs the red. But having your son kill you, that's not a good last thought.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought about that.
And I always pray that these people were asleep or something. I don't know how. And I don't want to know, but the knowledge. It's one thing.
It's been reported that there was an argument before, and I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're sleep aids.
Well, here's what I do, I guess. I just sort of hope that in a world where there are no good outcomes, that the best outcome is somebody was not able to process, like Phil Hartman. Phil Hartman got shot by his wife, right? I think he was sleeping when he got shot by his wife. I don't know, but I think he was sleeping. And getting shot by your wife sucks, but
the best way is to go.
But at least if you're asleep, it's better than standing in front of her begging her to put the gun down.
Nah, but what if you wake up for like a 16-second snooze bar of death?
Huh? That'd be a good
Like you click a snooze and...
I'm saying not Sam Cooke. Marvin Gaye was shot by his dad. Mm-hmm. He was looking at his dad when his dad killed him.
Right. On
Phil
the scale
Hartman
of pain,
didn't know what was going on and maybe never did. You know what I'm saying?
You'd hope, yeah.
That's the way I'd like it. So I whenever I hear these stories, I just hope for whatever the least brutal scenario happened. But it doesn't look like this. But that's just
let me tell
crazy.
you, I've been stabbed, and you wake up when you get stabbed.
Yeah. Well, who stabbed you?
Oh, man. Crazy Ryan. Got me pretty good. Yeah. It's the whole thing. Yeah.
He stabbed you with what kind of knife?
Switchblade. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pretty good. I caught it like Steven Seagal, but still got through.
You caught it with your hand.
I caught his wrist and gave him a flip over like Steven Seagal. Meanwhile, I didn't know the door was locked.
That you'd been stabbed?
Oh, no. I knew I'd been stabbed.
Oh, you knew you'd been stabbed.
He's trying to stab me in the heart, and I blocked it like that, and then it got stuck in my bone for a brief moment.
In your forearm?
In my upper arm, and then I caught his hand and spun him like Steven Seagal and got away. But then guess what? Door was locked.
The door was locked?
Yeah.
So you couldn't get out?
Got 2 in the back before I subdued him.
2 stabs in the back?
Correct.
From him?
Correct.
Wow, he was on a mission, man.
Yeah.
Actor Phil Hartman was asleep in his bed when he was fatally shot by his wife. Bryn Hartman and murder-suicide. Right.
But, like, who knew he was asleep? You know what I'm saying? Like, do they have REM?
Well, I think a lot of it is where the bullet enters and that kind of stuff and how they do it. But if somebody shot me in the middle of the night, there might be a good chance I'd be asleep. So I think he was. But I just hope the Reiners were asleep somehow. I don't know.
Well, I hope he gets to the yard and, they take care of him.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, Nick Reiner. I mean, look, he's going to go up for this. Like, there's no way to talk your way out of that. I don't think so. So this guy is already in custody and will remain there for the remainder of his years.
Yeah. I mean, it's Menendez-esque, if you think about it.
It's very bizarre.
But Rob was a Menchie guy. He was youthful, and he was, energetic, and he's like, I said, like, he'd come on this show. He's been on once or twice probably, and he kind of knew where I was politically, but he still wanted to talk comedy and have a laugh.
How it is, man. I feel like comedians can be that way.
And all that. So he's going to be missed, and what a crazy... I mean, it just doesn't get any fucking crazier. It's still like
affecting us right now. It just happened. It's just, settle in right now. It doesn't even settle in yet.
All right, what else you got?
No way to lighten that mood except maybe telling you that flying cars are taking off. ALF Aeronautics is turning sci-fi into reality, beginning production on the world's first ever flying car. The ALF Model A Ultralight, which will likely be available to customers by early 2026.
I have seen a lot of news on flying cars lately. Now, flying cars go back to like the 40s and the 50s. And the thing about like early models of flying cars, like from the 50s, it looked like a VW Bug with the back of a Cessna tail on it and the 2 wings. And it was like, it's not exactly a flying car.
Your era was that. My era was what was called a Moeller Merlin. They said it was just around the corner. You can look that up. They were saying since the 80s they're about to put this into production, but Caleb actually did it and is taking pre-sale for $300,000.
Stuff's been moving fast, and I think it's. I'll tell you what a lot of it is. I think it's the advent of battery technology.
Yes,
batteries are notoriously heavy. I mean, they are bricks, man. Yeah. And so you can't do an electric flying car with an old school battery, but the technology has moved fast. And on all the drone stuff and all the propeller driven stuff, and now there's all these like personal flying crafts, where you get into it. It's not really a car, but it's like you can fly yourself around with all these quad electric motors and everything. And it's pretty cool. Like it's getting there. I don't know. I can't imagine in California them letting you do any of this shit.
I know.
They're just going to say no to all of it.
You can only fly it in your field,
Right.
And even that is heavily regulated. I didn't even ask for the guides to pull a clip or anything. It says that it can perform a vertical takeoff, just like straight up into there, and has a 110-mile flight range and 220-mile driving range. So that's the numbers on it. And they already have 3,500 pre-orders.
3,500?
Yeah, totaling $1 billion.
And are they making them out here or whenever they're...
Yeah, this article didn't tell me where the...
manufacturer was?
Yeah, I would assume it would be Silicon Valley facility they have, but I don't know where the majority of the car parts will be made. Because usually they'll say something like this where they assemble a lot of the parts that are made foreign.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you think? You'll get one? You're going to be in line for this? I think you could drop $300,000 on a flying car, get to work in 10 minutes.
The one I was looking at one online was cheaper, but again, it wasn't a flying car. It was like a personal flying
timeout. You taking a jetpack to the studio?
It was kind of that. This one had a parachute that would fire, like you could fire your parachute. But with computers, like there's so much they can do now. You know what I mean?
Obviously, yeah.
Like it's so much safer than it would have been. But
you mean like autopilot? Oh, here we go. We do have some.
Yeah, this is what I was.
Oh, this is what you're looking at.
Not
bad. Yeah, I like this setup.
I mean, it's basically somebody saying, well, you know what a quad or a forerunner is, or like one of those ATVs, or like, look. Somebody invented a jet ski in like 1979. You know what I mean? They went, here's your personal watercraft. Like you have a jet ski for you to get around on a lake or an ocean or whatever. And then somebody came out with like a quad runner or those ATVs or whatever. This is basically that for the air, right? Just you can get around. It's this one I was looking at was not, I don't know, it was like $125,000 or something like that. The flying time is going to be a little limited, and there's going to be a lot of stuff. But I mean, we're kind of there.
Yeah, we live in the future.
I'm trying to, but it's going to have to be this. I never really thought about this, but the Carollas. We had cars when I was a kid, but they were piece of shit cars.
Infamously a bug, right?
My mom had a Dodge Dart. My mom would buy...
Dodge Dart?
My mom would buy... I'll put it to you this way. I just left LAX and left my car in the parking lot there for like 4.5 days. It was $300 is what I had to pay to park that car. That's what my mom paid for the car.
Budget.
For the car.
Yeah,
that was her car. Like a Dodge Dart, a VW Squareback was like a station wagon, VW, like that's what my mom did. So the point is in the future, like 50 years from now, there's going to be some Carollas. I mean, I don't mean Carollas, but some version of us. And then we're going to have the shitty old flying car. Like we're going to have the crappy one, the flying, because It's not like we didn't have a car. It's not like we didn't ride a horse. We had a car. We just had a shitty old car all the time.
Yeah.
But as technology moves on, now people have a shitty old 27-inch color TV. But that's more TV than we had. So someone's going to have shitty flying cars. Like busted up, like duct tape on the
No
dash.
catalytic converter,
Right.
Muffler hanging on the 285 sign. I get it.
Drone cars will have to return to home tech, which will make parking at the airport obsolete.
So you
okay.
just ship yourself over there to LAX and then get out.
Tell
and
the
then
car
it
to go
goes
home.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
man,
I get it. Yeah, because it's fucking nuts. And by the way, can I say this? There should be, it's illegal. It's illegal. Okay, they tried this for a long time. Gift certificates. You would get a gift certificate back when everyone got gift certificates, and then you'd go into the Saks Fifth Avenue and try to use it, and they go, sorry, it expired. but I was always like, what do you mean expired?
Yeah.
Somebody spent $200 2 years ago, but I haven't used it. Well, how did it expire? You're still in business. It's against the law, by the way, to do that.
is it?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Because this is the greatest windfall ever for a store, or whether you sell pizzas or whether you sell slacks. You just tell everyone it expired.
I know.
We don't honor that anymore. And then you go, okay. And you never buy yourself a gift card. Your boss bought it for you
There's
or
some
something.
percentage of people that never use gift cards at all. I'm one of those too. I'll forget about it.
If you go into any executive or celebrity, if you go to Kimmel's office right now and open the thin drawer at the top, you'll see at least 17 grand worth of gift cards and shit on there. I wanted to do this. What about this? Every single executive, like in the industry or talent or in music or whatever, you'd walk by their office, you see the platinum records, they're leaning against the wall. They're all on the floor.
Yeah.
They're all on the floor, and there's a desk filled with gift certificates that they'll never fucking use. And it could be for, TGI Fridays, and it could be a go-karting place. It's just, I just want to start a business where I just went to every single office in Hollywood and just went,
Celebrity clean out.
I'll take all the platinum albums off of the floor, and I'll take all here, and I'll donate it.
I'm installing these.
I'll give you a write-off. It'll be a tax write-off.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so this should be legal. It should be legal to go, just like it should. It is illegal to not honor a gift card.
Yeah.
But they don't tell
no matter
you that.
how long, how many years it is. Because if I bust a Chili's card from 1986,
If the company is still around, somebody figured out, I think in California, they made a law where they just went, you cannot tell people your shit's expired when the store's still open.
Yeah.
That's a consumer
you cannot hold
right.
me back from a baby back ribs.
So somebody should do this with parking, because this shit happens to me all the time. You pull into Burbank, you leave at 8 a.m. on a Friday, and you come back Saturday at 9:30 in the morning. You're like, well, that's 2 days.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, that's 25 and a half hours, bro. And they're like, yeah, but we charge you for two. It's like, why? Okay, we're charging by the hour. We're charging by the day. Since when does getting 90 minutes into the next day, why is that 2 days? Why is that 2 days? And why is it legally 2 days? And then I would say if it's under 12 hours, it's not into the second fucking day. I've had my motorcycle towed. I had it towed on like a Friday night at midnight. I went there Saturday morning to go pick it up. 2 days. I'm like, 2 days? It's been 7 hours.
Man.
2 days. Friday was... We got it on Friday. Today's Saturday. They fuck your shit up with that. It should be legal.
You're delving into a whole nother area of poor tax. Of like when you live in a crappy neighborhood, it's $6.75. Oh, yeah, maybe. But then you lose that, and guess what? It's Tuesday. Ha! Street sweeping. $300 ticket. Kablam!
I haven't got a parking ticket since I've been rich.
I know.
When I was poor. I've had 3 motorcycles towed. 3.
You barely have to park your car, all right? You just like walk out and some dude in a nice vest runs up and gets in there.
Hello, Mr. Carolla.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the street sweeper, the get up,
I know.
it's devastating. I mean, what I want to yell at everyone in like the LA City Council, like they go, you guys never stop talking about poor people and brown people and working people and stuff. Stop fucking them up with all the parking shit and all the regulation.
Keep them bored. Keep them bored. That's what they're doing.
And the $6 an hour gas.
Yes.
These guys are driving fucking pickup trucks.
It's the meanest thing to do. I recently ran into it. I sponsored a young fighter. I had him use the truck, right? Thousands of dollars in parking tickets came to my house. Thousands, because he's living in the hood and he's parking. I figure anytime he saw a fire hydrant, he parked in front of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just there's nowhere to park in those areas. So guess what? This kid is just kept below the poverty line. No matter what, even if he worked the 8-hour, at a dumb job.
Brutal.
Yeah,
it is brutal.
So
when
mean
you're
to
poor.
the kids. So mean to the people.
I think I was telling this to Dr. Drew, but when I was doing earthquake rehab in Koreatown, off of Wilshire and whatever, Western. Yeah. Okay, but
I like that area. It's great tofu.
Okay, but let me say this. They had all the apartments we were working on were from the 20s and the 30s. No subterranean parking. No parking. They would just build these big units. 5 stories, a whole bunch of units, no parking because people didn't really have cars, and it wasn't an ordinance. Now, if you want to build a condo, they go, okay, we need 2 parking spaces for every 1,000 square feet or whatever the hell it is, for every bedroom or whatever that thing is. This wasn't that. There was we're rebuilding this place. We're doing earthquake rehab. We pull in, we had to park on the street and way down the street. But remember, street cleaner would be like Tuesday between 10 and noon or whatever it is. So first off, the street cleaner didn't come half the time. Yeah. But the meter maid came every time and handed all the fucking tickets out. So we'd be on a job site with about 25 dudes rehabbing, doing earthquake rehab, and the call would go out. Oh, man. Oh, street sweeper day.
Tuesday, 3 o'clock.
Everyone have to come downstairs, off the roof, whatever, and go walk out, go find their trucks, and go move. And I couldn't find any place to park. Well, the street cleaner went down, and I saw the wet tracks going down the street. And it was like no parking between, by the way, the big window between 10 and noon. Like, get your shit together, pick a time. But 10 and noon, and the street cleaner didn't come half time. But this time it did, and I saw the wet tracks going down the street. It was 11:30 in the morning, and I pulled back on to the side.
Hack the system.
And the meter maid came in, so he started writing me a ticket. I said, you got to be kidding me, man. We're trying to work on this building here. No parking between 10 and noon. And I said, read the rest of the sign. For the street sweeper who just passed, and that's why there's fresh, wet tracks down, so I can pull in because he's passed. And he's like, no.
Got you on a technicality.
Nothing between. You cannot park between noon or between 10 a.m. and 2.
Boom, got you with the rules.
And I said, for the street sweeper who has passed. It's the only time I got all.
Was it a long reach on this meter maid, or did you have the jab on it?
I think I had the jab. Yeah. I thought
that's why.
It's the only time I ever did this. I went, "What's your name?" Because I want to talk. I want to talk to your fucking supervisor. Because we're here working, and you're basically harassing us. We're doing a job for the city. We're doing an earthquake rehab job for the city, and you're riding us. And
right in front of Japan, LA, there'll be a sweet little ladies buying plushie dolls. Okay. Mm-hmm. 4 o'clock bus lane. There's a meter maid out there with the ticket book, putting a ticket, and there's a guy snatching the car immediately. I kind of like them for their cold-hearted technicality.
That's such a bitch.
Hey, so I took your Fleetwood Mac challenge last night. I was listening to the podcast about 11 last night. Got up to go to work this morning. 8 hours later, landslide hit me as I turned the car on. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
It's so funny because I was highlighting a note that said Mick Fleetwood pool pump as you were saying that. I wasn't aware we had that drop. but bumper. But I also could not avoid. It's the Fleetwood Mac Eagles challenge. I have not been able to get in the car and not hear Fleetwood Mac or Eagles for more than 7 minutes. The 2 times I got in my car in Vegas, the Eagles were on when I got into the car, times 2. They're shittiest songs. I wrote it down. It's a long story. But anyway, the point is this. I was thinking back on if you have a home and it's in a remote space and you have a swimming pool, get one of those high capacity pumps you can throw into your pool with a hose on the end of it. You'll have 50,000 gallons of water sitting there. And if the hydrants go dry and that bitch isn't around to fill them up or whatever, you have a body of water. It's called your swimming pool. You have to get a high capacity pump. It's not that big a deal. And you literally throw it into the deep end of your pool and you can pump as much. You got a pool's worth of water to put on your house. But one story I haven't told in a long time, but when I was interviewing Mick Fleetwood many years ago on MTV, all the celebrities live up in the hills of Malibu. That would include Mick Fleetwood, and a fire blew in, and imagine this guy with the memorabilia, with the guitars, with the drums, think how much equipment that guy has and the stories they could tell, not to mention just some sunburst or something that's worth. He said he didn't know what to do with it all. Whole place was going up, threw it all in the swimming pool.
Smart,
except for the fire missed his house.
Okay.
And now all the shit's in the swimming pool. But I still... all that stuff's like laminated wood, and it's going to delaminate. It's not going to be good, but it's still better than burning up. So anyway, go ahead.
Let's just start with a recap on what's been going on since January 7th of this year. These statistics are according to CAL FIRE. Some of them I don't think are correct, but they are up to date on CAL FIRE as of our recording this on Sunday evening. They will change. So far, emergency fire has responded to 19,300 total events. They were monitoring currently 105 wildfires. Most of them are cool. 40,300 acres have burned. CAL FIRE is reporting 10 fatalities. I heard on the way in that number is actually 16, and I'm sure it's going to go way up. 12,300 structures destroyed. Palisades fire, 23,000 acres, 11% containment. Eaton fire in Pasadena, Altadena, 14,117 acres destroyed, 27% contained. There is news coming out right now. It's unverified, but the LA Times is reporting that the Eaton fire could possibly have started from an electrical transmission tower that was faulty.
No.
Now, I also saw some video, and we can find this. This is in the email that I sent at the beginning of the Palisades fire. Someone was up on the mountains when the Palisades fire started. They saw the flames. They took some footage. I did not see any electrical wires near that. I know it's going to take some time to figure it out, but arson is not out of the question. Electrical is not out of the question. Homeless camping is not out of the question.
I talked to the firemen who were down in Malibu some months ago, and they just said every fire we put out is because of a homeless guy up in the camp who got high, fell asleep.
Now, there was a fire in Sylmar, the Hearst fire. Right now, that's 89% contained. That's the one closest to my house. That's burned 799 acres. And then the Kenneth fire in West Hills, not getting much coverage on this one. Thankfully, that one is 100% contained as of now, has burned 1,052 acres, but really scary for those people in West Hills, especially with the wind coming back. Let's hope that the firefighters can hold that 100% containment, because you get winds in again and it could really completely destroy everything.
What's funny is I was thinking about, you have these decrepit power poles with these decrepit wires on them, and some of them are literally like 100 years old, just 100 years old, and they're all the entire length of PCH, right?
Right.
And I was thinking about some of those. I was thinking about the city And the people, because I pass by, because I have the construction background, I'd always pass by all the building. When those guys are doing their foundation on the ocean side, they're building on the ocean side of PCH, and they're laying their foundation. They got $3 million into the foundation because they got these big, huge caisson rigs, which are big drill bits, and they got to go down 40 feet, and they got to go into bedrock, and they have to put cages down and then attach them all with these grade beams. I mean, they have hundreds of yards of everything pumped into that foundation, right? They have a foundation that could handle a 10.0 earthquake, a tsunami, whatever it was. And now, what would happen is if a tsunami blew in, the house would be gone, but the foundation would
right.
Now the fires blow in, the house is gone, but the foundation will never leave.
Right.
And so that's what the city requires of them. Directly in front of the home where the guy put $3 million into the foundation is a 100-year-old telephone pole with a bunch of wires strung across it that in a windstorm is going to fall over and catch the guy's house on fire. That's the city's job. That's what they do. They require, and then there's the forced maintenance, and then there's the aqueducts, and then there's the fire hydrant. They require nothing of themselves, everything of you.
But they also, add to that, those power poles, and you mentioned this before, are covered with creosote. Basically, it's toxic to the earth.
Yes.
Something that the Coastal Commission and the Sierra Club would never fucking let you put anywhere near the ocean.
No.
But because it's a government agency for the power, we don't care if you put this shit within 100 yards of our ocean. But tell someone from the Coastal Commission, those power lines that are just that one right there. I need to put one of those on my property. Never happened.
I am telling you, now they all burnt up. Half of them fell over, but they've all been compromised. They have to redo the post. Okay. If they do not bury those power wires, if they try to go back up with another telephone pole in 2025, I'm going to go down there like Jane Fonda and chain myself to one of those DWP pieces of equipment and go on a fucking hunger strike. No poles. All right, here we go.
A little update to your Karen Bass story. She was in Ghana during the fire. Did you know that she gave an interview to the New York Times on October 17th, 2021?
No.
Where she stated, I took a picture of it with my phone so that I have it here. Karen Bass stated, I went to Africa every couple of months, all the time, she said.
Whoa, I thought she went to Cuba every couple of months.
She's been there
That's when she was younger.
Yeah.
Okay.
The idea of leaving that, especially the international work and the Africa work, I was like, I don't want to do that. She ultimately decided that she did, telling the LA Times that if she was elected mayor, not only I would, of course, live here, but I also would not travel internationally. The only places I would go would be D.C., Sacramento, San Francisco, New York, and L.A.
But what if someone got elected in Ghana? Then you would have to.
You'd have to. What if the Olympics were in France? You'd have to go. You'd have to go.
It makes me laugh when I think about.
Got to go to Mexico. She went to Mexico.
I think about Newsom saying we got to get these leaf blowers switched over to electric leaf blowers for the environment, and then the whole fucking town burns down. Like, what is a leaf blower put out versus a minivan burned to the ground? We need to get people in electric cars. We need to get them into these Teslas. But what's it put in the atmosphere when the Tesla burns to the ground? Newsom, you are undoing every single thing you're asking for
by thousands, by tens of thousands of degrees.
Yes. Well, because orders of magnitude. Because switching everyone over to electric maintenance tools for the lawn, electric lawnmower, electric weed whacker, electric leaf blower versus setting everything on fire. Okay. Okay.
Well, the next layer of problems is about to come. It's too soon to know the full cost of repair. By the way, I heard at the beginning, 2 days ago, I heard somebody say, a news outlet say, $50 billion would be
That's
the
what I
estimate.
heard.
And I immediately told my friend, triple it.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no way it's 50 bill. It's at least 150.
Yeah.
And then I'm saying double it again. It's the 300 billion easy. I don't know. Anyway, it's too soon to know the full cost, but most people have already been. A lot of people have already been dropped from their insurance. There's no way they're going to be able to rebuild as big insurers try to protect their profits from natural disasters. Southern California homeowners are left with inadequate or non-existent insurance. Last year, State Farm, Jake, the nation's largest insurer, the state's largest insurer, announced it would drop coverage for 30,000 home insurance policies. It included about 1,600 in the Pacific Palisades neighborhood.
Yeah, look, there's enough blame to go around, but here's the thing. You kind of go, hey, what's going on, insurance companies? They do the same with the gas. Gas is $6 a gallon. We're going to go after these gas companies. Well, how come they only do it in California?
Right.
How come all these companies seem to be able to operate everywhere else, but not in California? And then there's something evil about them when it comes to California. Or maybe you're creating some environment that makes it difficult for them to exist.
Do you happen to remember, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, probably Newsom's first term, when gas prices really started to shoot up?
Yeah.
He said he was going to get to the bottom of
It's
it.
getting to the bottom of it.
We've never heard anything else from it. Now he's going to get to the bottom of the water.
He's
the
literally
water
got
hydrants.
the CEO of Chevron on the phone right now.
Right.
Right now. Literally.
Now, do you
I'm
remember-
literally I'm talking to the guy now. Literally. Like, yeah, I know. He's gonna get them to stop gouging us. But as I've said, why not gouge everywhere?
Here's another interesting
If I'm
thing.
them.
Do you remember the rainy day fund in California?
Yeah.
Jerry Brown had kind of set up this rainy day fund, and we were supposed to have this surplus of cash to fix any problems should a rainy day come. Now, then a few years ago, we had a winter of the worst storms we've ever had. Literally, a rainy day destroyed roads. They had to raise taxes because they didn't have the effing rainy day fund that
The
they were
rainy day.
saving
I know.
for rainy days.
It's all a shit show, Dawson.
Yeah. So much we know, so much we don't know. The one thing I think we can be sure of is Newsom is done, which would be
That'd be
really,
nice.
really nice.
That'd be nice.
The fire chief said that LA fire chief said that staffing shortages and lack of resources have been pressing issues facing the department for years. She said the city of Los Angeles failed its over 100,000 displaced residents who were forced to evacuate from the ongoing wildfire siege. When asked if Mayor Karen Bass failed the city, I believe her name is Kristen Crowley. Yes, Kristen Crowley, LA Fire Department Chief, replied, yes.
I love it when the bitches turn on each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not happy. And the mayor's not happy. She's talking shit because the whole plan is to never admit anything ever. You just announce that this is something that's unacceptable.
Oh, it's unacceptable.
After it's happened.
Yeah.
And that's how it works. But yeah, they're throwing each other under the fire truck.
Well, LA slashed the fire budget by over $17 million. And it is certainly affecting the way the city is able to respond. And then Newsom.
We spent $24 billion on homeless.
Yes.
And that got worse.
Yeah.
All right. Just so you keep some things in perspective. You go $24 billion on homeless, and the budget for the fire department's under $1 billion, I believe. But you can.
Yeah. The budget, it went from $837 million to 819 million, which is still a substantial amount of money, but $17 million goes a long way.
Yeah, but 24 billion gets us nothing. So I don't even know what money.
I don't.
What money is. I will ask one more time: any of these people who've been displaced and are now homeless, anybody sleeping on the sidewalk? I don't know. I don't know anybody. I've been offered by many people to stay at their place, which I'm thankful for. But again, it's because I'm not a junkie and I have a network of friends. Go ahead, Dawson.
Gavin Newsom also cut money from the state's fire budget, $100 million in 2024 before these fires hit. And that California state budget, and let's see, a spokesman for Newsom said that under the governor's leadership, I love this news outlet put leadership in under quotes.
Oh, wow.
I'm not saying if they're actually quoting the spokesperson or quoting leadership, but either way, it's funny. The Cal Fire budget doubled from $2 billion in 2018 to 2019 to $3.8 billion in 24-25. So that's what they said. That's what their answer was. Well, we're spending more money than we spent before still. And it's not really the answer anyone's looking for. Actor, comedian Steve Byrne, guest of the show, called out the state's politicians, including Newsom and Bass, for the mishandling of the wildfires. He said, I believe the leadership from Governor Newsom, DWP, down to the mayor, will face incredibly steep repercussions for their lack of leadership and foresight. It's criminal from a governing perspective and heartbreaking from a personal perspective. I wonder if we can find Mel Gibson. He might have been on Laura Ingram's show on Fox News. I didn't get a chance to look at it, but Mike Lynch told me at the end of it, Mel Gibson tells Gavin Newsom to stop spending so much money on hair gel.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a trope, the hair gel joke. I mean, don't get me wrong. I hate Newsom and I love making fun of Newsom. And remember, 10 years ago, when I was explaining to him homelessness, and a lot of fires are caused by homeless, I told him it was junkies and it was people with mental issues, and he was explaining there was a mother of two who had a full-time job. So
that's the face of homelessness.
I'm not sure how we could solve any of these problems if we then don't know what the origin of the problem is. But that was him just being politically correct. But does everything have to be political? Like, it's homeless and it's junkies expiring in your streets. Why don't we just call it what it is and fix it? Why is that politicized? I don't get it. I mean, we can say it's a hardworking mother of two, but that mother's on someone's sofa right now, not in the street with their pants around their ankles. But anyway, we got Mel Gibson.
See him.
He's on Laura Ingram.
To Governor Newsom or Karen Bass tonight?
Spend less on hair gel. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What can I say to them?
He's still got those crazy Mel Gibson eyes, though.
Yeah.
When he needs to. That's good.
Yeah.
That looked like he looked like Riggs.
Yeah. I can tell you from doing all these shows that jokes work better on Jesse Waters than they do with Laura.
Yeah.
Or with Hannity.
Yeah.
They're not the best audience.
You were great on Jesse Waters the other day. I got to say this. When I see you on Fox a lot, and I enjoy your appearances because you go in there not knowing what you're going to say or what they're going to ask you, and you're very quick in all of your responses. And a lot of times, you're incredibly funny. All the time, you're pretty funny, but a lot of times you just blow me away. This last time you were on Jesse Waters, you were fucking pissed. You were calm, but you were pissed. You were the right amount of pissed off. There were no smiles, no real jokes, no laughing, but everything you said was right down to the point. And I hope you keep doing that.
Yeah, it's easy enough. All right, let's do one more.
All right. Mark Zuckerturd says Biden officials would scream and curse at his employees when seeking removal of Facebook content. He said this on the Joe Rogan Experience on Friday. He said, basically, these people from the Biden administration would call up our team and like scream at them and curse. It just got to the point where we were like, no, we're not going to take things down that are true. That's ridiculous. That's what he said. Let's hear him say it.
All right.
These people from the Biden administration would call up our team and like scream at them and curse, and it's like these documents it's all kind of out there.
Did you record any of those phone calls?
I don't think we were, but I think
I want to listen.
I mean, there are emails. the emails are published. It's all kind of out there, and they're like, and basically it just got to this point where we were like, no, we're not gonna take down things that are true. That's ridiculous. They wanted us to take down this meme of Leonardo DiCaprio looking at a TV talking about how 10 years from now or something, you're going to see an ad that says, okay, if you took a COVID vaccine, you're eligible for, for this kind of payment. Like
mesothelioma is what
class action lawsuit type meme. And they're like, no, you have to take that down. And we just said, no, we're not going to take down humor and satire. We're not going to take down things that are true. And then at some point, I guess, I don't know, it flipped a bit. I mean, Biden, when he gave some statement at some point, I don't know if it was a press conference or to some journalists, where he basically was like, these guys are killing people. And I don't know, then like all these different agencies and branches of government basically just like started investigating, coming after our company. It was brutal. It was brutal.
Yeah.
Wow.
And your companies are worth billions and billions of dollars. You still bowed to everything they asked. I'm not buying this mea culpa. I am stoked that they've gotten rid of their fact-checking department. I'm stoked that they're trying to turn something around. I have little faith in it. I don't like that guy. I don't think he is sincere. I think he found himself on the wrong side of something, and he's a nerd, and he feels bullied and beat up, so he's trying to turn it around and play the nice guy, and I think it's bullshit.
Well, when the government comes at you and says, we're going to fuck you up, there's not a lot of people that would make the business decision to tell them to go pound sand. That's number one.
Certainly you and I, in any business level that we're involved in. Facebook, Zuckerberg is one of the 10 richest people in the world.
No, I agree.
He did not stand up because he was afraid. He did not stand up because he was into being told what to do. He was on a team.
Yeah, but listen, you can personally have cajillions of dollars and be set for 1,000 lifetimes. If you said to Jimmy, we're going to fuck you up and we're going to fuck your show up and we're going to put you out of business, he might think to himself, I have enough money for myself, but I employ all these people. And also, at a certain point, it transcends like money. It's like, this is my company, and I have thousands of employees. And
but when something is obviously wrong, when there is obvious government censorship coming down,
yes,
you know the difference between right and wrong.
Yeah,
and you chose wrong.
You chose wrong because you have thousands of employees that are going to be put out if the government comes at them.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I don't buy that for Zuckerberg.
I don't listen. I blame the government, because if the government says to anyone, "We're going to fuck your shit up," I don't care, mom and pop business or biggest business in the world. Right. When the government comes at you and says, "We're going to fuck you up,"
100% believe.
Then everyone goes, "Fine. What do you need from us?"
Blame the government. Absolutely.
100%.
Yes.
So I don't call the guy a hero, but I do blame our government. But now listen,
I do as well.
All you fucking pussies out there that are have your panties in a bunch because these guys are going to be able to speak freely now, go fuck yourself 1,000 times with 1,000 rusty mop handles, because you're now worried that misinformation and disinformation, after you've been creating all the mis and disinformation for the last 10 years, give me a fucking break. You are pissed off because you can't control the narrative, not because the narrative is dangerous. It's only about control. You guys were wrong about everything. You had control and you forced everyone to capitulate. And now you don't have control and you hate it. But it's not because it's dangerous, or if it is mis or disinformation, then what are we talking about? Ivermectin and horse paste? Like, what are we talking about here? It's insane that they even have the gall to feign that they're upset about this new thing and how dangerous it's going to be when people start making their own decisions. All right. I'm going to be in Solana Beach at the Belly Up this Sunday doing 2 shows. Jay Moore's going to be there as well. And then Covina at the Laugh Factory. Paul Rodriguez will be there. That's a live podcast as well. Boca Raton. Ooh, no fires there. Naples, off the hook. Naples again. Just adamcarolla.com for all the live shows. We appreciate that we got such a great response to our little intimate show we did from the hotel room the other day, and it got some traction out there. So thank you guys for spreading the word and passing the show around. We'll get back to our normal format as soon as things get normal around here. And until next time, it's Adam Carolla. For Mike Dawson, saying mahalo.
Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. No choice to get it on. Mandate, get it on. Thank you very much for listening. It's been a good year with you guys tuning in, and lots of fun stuff going on out there, and traveling the country, saying hi to folks. I like the idea. I love the father-son team or the mother-daughter teams. I love when you guys come out and you go, I got my son into the show, and vice versa, and all that kind of stuff. So thank you very much for another great season. We're not done yet, but it's time for the cranberry recipe. Now, the origins of this story go back to maybe my first year in radio. This is Bircham K-Rock years, probably 94. Now, I got into radio in early May 94. I know that. I'm not a date guy, and I always tell you guys, I'm not a date person where you go, when did the Man Show start? I don't know. When did Loveline start? I don't know. When did this begin? When did this end? How many seasons? How many episodes? I never pay attention. I don't know. Look, you're talking to the guy who doesn't know what month either one of his parents were born in. Forget about their birth date. I don't know the year. I don't know the month. I don't know the day. I don't know. I'm guessing September with maybe my mom. But, all right, we're not a tight-knit family. But the point is this. I do remember when I got into radio because I said, when I turn 30, I got to be doing it by the time I turn 30, and it was just before I turned 30. So I'll never not know when I got into radio because it was right before I was turning 30. And I do remember my own birthday. I know that sounds selfish. Now, I got in early May, late April, 94, and then was a fixture on Kevin and Bean. So I probably would have done my cranberry recipe thing as Mr. Bircham in 94, because that would have meant that I would be there for 5 or 6 months by now. And I would have been ensconced, and probably started in 94. Now, my thing with Thanksgiving is I think can openers should be outlawed for Thanksgiving. And maybe with an exception for evaporated milk, which is also called pet milk, which is weird. Is evaporated milk and pet milk the same thing? And then why would you call it pet milk? It was evaporated milk. And then why are you putting the word pet into something you're going to use to make pumpkin pie? I don't want to think about cat hair or fur balls. But the point is this. I just don't believe we're supposed to be opening cans of stuff. And I know some people are like, I like the canned cranberry sauce, or I like the canned beans, or the canned whatever. I get it. It's mostly symbolic, but I just don't like the notion of can openers on Thanksgiving.
Sure. Evaporated milk is known as pet milk because the parent company was called Pet Incorporated.
Oh, really? All right. So it wasn't like open it for your pet.
Correct. And you don't really necessarily use a can opener for that. You get away with it because you use a church key. The one that cuts the little V's in the side so you can pour it out.
Yeah. Well, I'll expand it and say things that come in a can for Thanksgiving I don't like. And also I don't like the part where you go to pavilions and pick up everything all made. Now, look, I didn't come here to complain, but I will say that there's something Norman Rockwell about, and something communal about the kitchen and people all chipping in and working together, and the oven and the heat and the smell and everything. You're not just supposed to dispatch someone to go to pavilions and pick up chafing dishes or the stuff that Mexican guys who aren't celebrating Thanksgiving. No one who prepared your Thanksgiving food is celebrating Thanksgiving. That's the rule. You need to celebrate Thanksgiving. The people that make the food need to eat the food they make. They can't just have some guy in the kitchen at Pavilions who's from Guadalajara who's no interest in Thanksgiving making your Thanksgiving food. All right. So, many years ago, we would go to the Bruno's house. The Brunos were Greg and Pat and Vince Bruno. I didn't know. I thought they were my cousins. I thought he was my uncle. Turns out they were cousins. My dad was pretty fast and loose with the who. We didn't have family. We didn't have relatives. We didn't have anything. So we didn't know anybody. And my dad sure as hell wasn't going to cook a turkey, and neither was my mom. They weren't going to do anything. So we ended up, we'd have to go places on Thanksgiving because my mom in a million years wouldn't cook a turkey with all the fixins, and in 200 million years my dad wouldn't cook a turkey with all the fixins. It'd be impossible for them to do it physically, but also spiritually it'd be impossible for them to do. They'd go out, spend money, spend all day, be in the kitchen, slaving away for your family, not in the cards. So we would end up going to the Brunos. The Brunos lived in a very small apartment in Santa Monica. I'm talking about 60s, one carport, 6 units, 700 square foot. I mean, miniature, 1 bathroom apartment. But to us, it had wall-to-wall carpet and central heating, and they had a color TV. It was sort of nice to us because we were black and white TV and wood floors and shag carpet and all that kind of stuff. So we would end up there. And I remember Pat Bruno, chain-smoking mom, by the way, real character, like short hair, fanny pack, Winston unfiltered, called me Ad. It's a real Philadelphia woman, Ad, kind of a ball buster, fun, ball buster, worked all day. Vince, not so much, but her husband, Greg, cousin, maybe he's my cousin. Anyway, everything was good, and we'd go out there, and she'd do the fixins, and pretty, just basic stuff, nothing fancy. But I remember she would open up a can of cranberry sauce, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the stuff back then. I didn't like the junk. I didn't like synthetic. I didn't like can. I didn't like Sunny D. I didn't like Gatorade. I wanted real stuff. I wanted like real orange juice. I didn't want fake cheese. I wanted Velveeta. I didn't want American cheese. I wanted real stuff. When I was a kid, as a kid, I knew the difference between a Porsche and a Chevrolet. Like as a little kid, I'd go, that's a fucking cool piece, and that thing's a piece of shit. And I knew it. I wanted good tools. I didn't want a Huffy. I wanted a Schwinn. I knew it when I was little. That's why. By the way, I was miserable because I was in a sea of Huffies and Toughskins and shitty tools, but I wanted the good stuff. And at some point, when I got to be 15 or something, and we were going to the Bruno's, I showed up with my own Tupperware container of cranberry sauce that I made at home. And Pat was a little put off. She's like, hey, Ed, what are you doing? I go, I brought my own cranberry sauce. She's like, why? I go, I don't want the canned stuff. She was a little offended that I just basically pulled my own Tupperware container out. It's like, hey, bitch, it's Thanksgiving. Save the can. So that's my vibe. And I've always been that way. Also, everyone chills everything. Chilling stuff hurts the flavor of it. I know you guys, you put the peaches and the apples in the refrigerator. When they're cold, they don't taste as good as room temperature. I'm telling you, Homes.com. Some might say Homes.com is the best home shopping site. Maybe Homes.com's super comprehensive and transparent agent directory. Or maybe it's that Homes.com is the only site that always directly connects you with the listing agent who knows the home the best. Perhaps it's because Homes.com has the most in-depth neighborhood content of any home shopping site that's extensively researched to highlight the personality of each neighborhood. I say it's all of the above. Homes.com goes above and beyond to bring home shoppers the in-depth info they need to find the right home. It's Homes.com. We've done your homework. O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly. Yeah, you know the jingle. These guys keep your car on the road. You don't want to end up on the shoulder of the road looking like a dope. Friendly, helpful service, people who actually know their stuff, not just some kid who'd rather be staring at his phone, or probably is staring at his phone. Always used O'Reilly. Back in the day, the one in North Hollywood, it was off Laurel Canyon. Used to go there. Now I go to the one in La Cañada. Went to the one in Glendale, California. They got what you need. You need wiper swap, brake lights out. The pros at O'Reilly, well, they can find what you need, or they'll hook you up with a local shop if you're not a DIY type. So whether you're a gearhead or you don't know a lug nut from a donut, they will walk you through it. No attitude, just real help. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit us at O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. That's O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam.
This November, action is free on Pluto TV. Go on the run with Jack Reacher.
Every suspect was a train killer.
Then buckle up for Drive, World War Z.
Every human being we save is one less fight.
And Charlie's Angels.
Damn, I hate to fly.
Launch into sci-fi adventure with The Fifth Element and laugh through the mayhem in Tropic Thunder.
What is going on here?
All the thrills, all for free. Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.
All right, I'm going to tell you this. Take a piece of dog shit, heat it up. It'll smell up the whole house. Take a piece of dog shit and freeze it. You can put it on the counter and people walk by it. They won't know it. Because when stuff gets frozen, when it gets cold, it loses its mojo. I mean, you take a burrito. A warm burrito, awesome. Room temperature burrito, fine. Cold burrito, it's lost all of it. It's lost 65% of its flavor. Cold. I wouldn't even, if you took a burrito and you made it cold, I don't mean freeze it cold, I just mean fridge cold, and you told me to take a bite with my eyes closed, I probably couldn't tell you if it was pork or beef or chicken. I might not know, flavor-wise, even what was in the burrito when it's cold. But if you warmed it up, I would definitely know what it is. So cold is kind of the enemy. And so I don't think you're supposed to serve the stuff you really want. I mean, you don't want to serve the mashed potatoes cold. They lose it, whatever. Warm, get that cranberry, make it a little bit warm. Also, you keep the cranberry in the fridge. It gets cold, and then you put the turkey and the potatoes and the stuffing down, and then you put a nice big spoonful of the cranberries on there, and the cold cranberry is going to take down the temperature of the stuff around. It's going to have a chilling effect. So keep it, You don't have to, I don't want it boiling, but just like room temperature. It'll taste better. Anyway, I pulled the Tupperware out at Pat Bruno's house. She was not a fan. God, those apartments are like the apartment's the size of an apartment you'd have if you went to college and had like a roommate or something, except for the whole fucking family lived there. I don't know what was one car, by the way, one Chevy Nova, one, the two adults. My dad's best friend, who was an adult, I'm talking 50, 60 years of age, him and his wife, one car between them. Two cars would have been too much for them. That was my mom. That was my dad's financial model. Anyway, they're great people. And Pat had a thing. She liked her stuff. She was like one of these people. You know these people? She had the fanny pack. She smoked. So she had the fanny pack and she had the case for cigarettes with the little holster for the lighter in it. And it was leather and it had like a flap on it and stuff. Like, I don't know, a pack of cigarettes is basically its own container, but all right. She had it in there in her fanny pack and she liked to undo it and get the thing out and open it up. Probably like had her initial, pull the lighter out of the thing. Like she was one of those people. She had a plastic half-gallon milk holder handle. So a square half-gallon milk container, cardboard, and this thing was a plastic square hoop with a bottom on it and a handle, and you'd slide it in, and when you reached into the refrigerator to pour milk, you'd grab it by the handle, and you'd pour it by the handle, and you'd put it back in the fridge. And it was like, you know, there's a part of me that likes it. There's another part of me, it's like, oh, too much. I've never had an issue with pulling milk out of the fridge and dumping some in a bowl and then putting it back. Like, I've never lost the grip on it or whatever, but all right. I kind of liked it. It's it's a $1.50 item, this plastic handle thing. But anyway, one year I went back to the Brunos and noticed that that handle had broken probably 5 places, because it was cheap plastic and it sat in that fridge and then probably sat on the counter and then went back in the fridge. That thing heat cycled like 300,000 times and eventually just picked up the handle with the half gallon of milk. The thing just busted off. I remember it was such a novelty, but I went back after about a year and I looked. That thing had been glued in seven different spots. I mean, it took a thing that retailed for under $2 and spent a day putting that thing back together so it could be used. And that's how the Carollas rolled. And it's not how the Carollas rolled. My dad wouldn't have had one in the first place, but the Brunos rolled that way. Not going to throw that thing out. Also, I don't know, Dawson, do they still make those? What would you even call that? I'll take it and drop it off at Pat's grave if they do. But anyway, it stuck in my head that there should be no cans opened on this one day of the year. No cans opened. And cranberry sauce was so damn easy to make. So incredibly easy to make. And for some reason, this became Mr. Burcham's calling card, and once I did it on Kevin and Bean in '94, I guess I just carried it on, and up until now. So it's pretty easy. First off, you don't need me because the recipe's on the back of the sack of cranberries, but you buy a sack of cranberries and you rinse them off, and you take a half cup of water and you bring it up to a boil in the saucepan. And you put the cranberries in there and you put a cover on there. I'd lower the heat a little bit. Let it simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes. You don't have to do anything. Just put the thing on there. And then you add some sugar. And I would just add it to taste. You know, the package says a cup of sugar. I would do half a cup or even less, because you can just keep spooning it in and tasting it until it gets how you like it. Because it's not dessert. I mean, it shouldn't be that sweet. It's cranberries. It's there to mix in with the stuffing and the potatoes, and it's there, but it's its own flavor. So let's not make it into cranberry pudding. I want to taste those cranberries. So you add it in, you simmer it in, you put it in a bowl, let it sit out. Room temp. I don't know. I'm telling you, I wouldn't make it at noon and put it in the fridge and serve it at 4 o'clock. I'll take it at room temp. I think it loses a little something when it gets cold. And like I said, it's going to affect the temperature of those around it as well. So, do those things still exist? Those half-gallon milk holder?
You actually said gallon. Yeah, I couldn't find any gallon. There are half gallon.
I said half gallon, then I said gallon. I corrected myself.
Yes,
but
yes, they have half gallon. The half gallons kind of seem to make sense.
Yes.
The gallon does have a handle built into it.
Yes, half gallon, easy carton holder.
Yeah, they're actually still selling these. They're called the carton caddy.
Vintage 1960s, right?
Yep.
What? Etsy, $96. Maybe Pat Bruno was on to something back in the day. I wonder if Greg's got that thing. I wonder if he got it in the will.
By the way, my mom made the cranberry sauce 2 days ago.
Oh,
she wanted to get it done and out of the way, but for the last 2 years, we've been making that cranberry sauce. I grew up with a father who loves the jellied stuff. And so every year we had the can on the table. And we've changed that.
Let me go ahead and say this, Dawson. God bless your dad. I will have, and I'll say this to all you, and I'll be honest. I'll be honest with you. Can I be honest?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. Because I'm being honest.
Right.
All right. I don't mind living in a world where there is canned cranberry sauce and the jellied cranberry sauce at the table. Who knows? Perhaps there's a relative that escaped a mental institution earlier that week and is sitting in and prefers it. That's fine. Or maybe you got an 8-year-old kid and he's special needs and he's got a little Rain Man in him and he loves the gelatinized stuff. That is fine. That is fine. And you know what? I don't mind a table that has passion fruit iced tea on it. And I don't mind a table that has cubed potatoes, purple potatoes, or new potatoes. But here's the deal, everyone. First, you have fresh cranberry. Then you add the gelatinized stuff. Supplement. And first, you have regular iced tea. And then you add the passion fruit, if you want. And there, first you have hash fucking browns. And if you want to add the new potatoes as an option, that's fine. But the base is this. The base must exist. That's what I'm saying. Well, I'll take it to fries. You must have good old-fashioned fucking French fries, and then if you want to do the quarter sawn ones that are baked with the skin on them, knock your fucking self out. But I want fries first.
Right.
Okay? That's all. So I don't have a problem with the preference with the dad and the gelatinized stuff.
Can I tell you the truth? Can I be 100% honest with you right now? 100% honest.
You know what?
My dad.
I'm going to insult you by not lying to you.
My dad was special needs, and one of his special needs was jellied cranberry sauce on Thanksgiving. If we did not have it, we never found out because we always had it.
I don't mind. Listen, the greatest president in the United States ever had, Ronald Reagan, liked jelly beans. That was his business. You know what I mean? It was a quirk. That's fine. I don't like jelly beans. But if Ronnie wants jelly beans, and if a great man wants gelatinized cranberry sauce, then that's his, especially if it's his house, then that's his business. But I'm saying supplementary to the fresh stuff. And the same with iced tea, the same with hash browns, same with fries. All right. You guys got it? Good. Now have yourself a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving from all of us at the Adam Carolla Show.